Many people feel like life just happens to them without their control. This book is about changing that by helping you take full control of your life starting today. It offers simple and practical steps to build strong habits, face fears with courage, and stop making excuses that hold you back. You will learn how to create daily plans and follow them with discipline, even when motivation is low. This guide shows how pushing through pain makes you stronger and why protecting your time and focus is essential for real progress. This isn't about quick fixes or empty motivation. It's about real actions you can take every day to improve yourself and your life. If you want to grow, become more disciplined, and live with purpose, this book will help you become the hero of your own story. The journey starts with the choices you make right now. Chapter 1. Take full control of your life, starting today. Every day you wake up with two choices. Either take responsibility for your life or wait for something or someone else to change things for you. Most people keep waiting. They wait for the right time, the perfect opportunity, the perfect mood, or some magical shift in luck. But the truth is, life doesn't change when you wait. It changes when you decide. It changes the moment you take full control and say, "This is my life and I will shape it." Taking full control of your life means you stop blaming. You stop pointing fingers at your past, your family, your job, your environment, or even yourself. Blame might feel comforting at first because it protects you from the weight of responsibility. But in the long run, blame steals your power. The moment you shift from blaming to owning is the moment your life begins to rise. Nothing changes until you decide that your life is yours and yours alone to shape. Control isn't about managing everything. You can't control the weather. You can't control how people think. You can't control the economy or the traffic or every detail of the future. But you control your actions. You can control your response. You can control your mindset, your focus, your effort, and your attitude. These are the levers that truly move the direction of your life. Most people give these levers away. They hand over their mood to circumstances. They give away their peace to someone's opinion. They surrender their time to distractions and say they didn't have a choice. But the truth is, you always have a choice. Even when it feels like you don't. Especially then, the first step to taking control is simple. Start paying attention. Awareness is the beginning of control. Notice how you talk to yourself. Notice how you react to stress. Notice how often you make excuses. Notice how much time you spend scrolling, distracting, complaining or comparing. Don't judge it, just notice it. Observe yourself like someone who is studying their own behavior to understand where they can improve. Because that's exactly what you're doing. The more honest you are about what's really going on in your life, the more power you gain to change it. Once you become aware, you must take responsibility for what you find. It's easy to say, "I'm tired because of work," but it's more honest to say, "I stayed up late scrolling and didn't prepare my day well." It's easy to say, "I don't have time," but it's more honest to say, "I didn't make this a priority." These are hard truths. But hard truths lead to strong growth. You can't fix what you pretend isn't broken. You can't rise while clinging to lies. Control starts with truth, and truth starts with courage. Then comes decision. You have to decide what you really want. Not what sounds nice. Not what impresses others. Not what feels safe, but what you truly want for your life. Most people never decide. They drift. They do what's familiar or what others expect. They stay busy, but not fulfilled. They achieve things, but never feel satisfied. Why? Because they never sat down and decided where they want their life to go. Without a direction, life will pull you in 100 different directions. and none of them will be your own. Decide what you value. Decide what matters most. Decide who you want to become. Decide what you're no longer willing to tolerate. Decide what habits you'll build and which ones you'll break. These decisions won't be perfect. You'll adjust them along the way. But a direction beats drifting every time. Direction gives your days meaning. Direction gives your pain purpose. Direction turns effort into progress. Once you decide, act. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today. Because delay is the enemy of control. Delay makes fear grow. Delay makes doubts louder. Delay keeps you stuck in patterns you say you want to change. You don't have to change everything today, you just have to begin. Start small, drink more water. Turn off your phone for an hour. Go for a walk. Read a page of a book. Say no to something that drains you. Say yes to something that builds you. These tiny actions are where control lives. You don't need big moves, you need consistent ones. Control comes from structure. Create structure for your life. Structure isn't a prison. It's freedom. Freedom to live on purpose instead of reacting all day. Wake up at the same time. Set time aside to think. Make a plan for the day. Do your most important task first. Turn off distractions when it's time to work. Take breaks when you need them. Sleep on time. Track your habits. Plan your meals. Make decisions ahead of time, so you don't waste energy deciding in the moment. These habits create control. And when you feel in control, you feel strong. There will be resistance. You'll feel like skipping the plan. You'll want to sleep in. You'll hear your mind say, "It's okay, you'll start tomorrow." But control means you do what's right even when it's hard. It means you show up when no one's watching. It means you choose long-term strength over short-term comfort. This is how confidence grows. Every time you follow through, you prove to yourself that you are in charge. That your choices matter. That you are not helpless. That you are not a victim. That you are the one steering this life. And yes, some days will be rough. Some days you'll feel off. That's normal. But taking control doesn't mean you're perfect. It means you don't give up on yourself. It means even on bad days, you do something good for yourself. It means you keep moving forward, slowly if you must, but never backward. Even on your weakest days, you show strength by not quitting. You also need to take control of your environment. If your surroundings pull you away from your goals, change them. Clean your room. Organize your space. Set your phone in another room while you work. Spend less time with people who drain your energy. Spend more time with people who push you to grow. Listen to things that inspire you. Read things that educate you. Watch things that feed your mind. Your environment is either helping you grow or holding you back. Take control of it. Take control of your inputs. What you see, hear, read and talk about shapes your thoughts, and your thoughts shape your life. If your mind is filled with gossip, drama, noise, negativity and distractions, how can you think clearly? How can you feel motivated? Choose what you allow in. Protect your mind like your life depends on it, because it does. Take control of your self-talk. Most people speak to themselves in ways they'd never speak to others. They say things like, "I'm not good enough," or "I always mess up," or "I'll never change," and they wonder why they feel defeated. Words are powerful. Speak truth to yourself. Speak encouragement. Speak strength. Replace "I can't" with "I'm learning." Replace "I failed" with "I'm improving." Replace "I'm stuck" with "I'm building momentum." The way you speak to yourself either builds your future or breaks it down. Choose wisely. And finally, take control of your time. Time is life. Once it's gone, It never comes back. Yet most people treat time like it's endless. They waste hours on things that don't matter. They live like they have forever. But one day, there will be no more chances. And what will matter then is how you spent your time now. Every day is a deposit into your future. Every hour is a seed. Plant wisely. Control your mornings. Win the first hour of the day, and the rest will follow. Wake up with purpose. Don't reach for your phone. Reach for your vision. Reach for your plan. Start your day by doing something meaningful. Something that puts your mind in a powerful state. Control your nights. Reflect on your day. Celebrate what you did right. Learn from what didn't go well. Prepare for tomorrow. Sleep with peace. Taking full control of your life doesn't mean everything will go your way. It means no matter what happens, you will respond with strength. You will adjust. You will grow. You will take ownership. Life won't always be fair, but fairness is not the goal. Growth is. Power is. Peace is. And those come from within. When you stop waiting and start owning, you become unshakable. Your life is not something that happens to you. It is something you create. One choice at a time. One action at a time. One day at a time. Don't hand it over to chance. Don't wait for the perfect time. Don't let fear or doubt or comfort steal your future. Decide today to take the wheel. Decide today to be the author of your story. Decide today that your life will not be a reaction. It will be a creation. And it starts now. You don't need anyone's permission. You don't need more time. You don't need everything to be perfect. You only need to decide. This is your life. Take full control of it, starting today. Because no one else will. Because you deserve to live a life that reflects your deepest values, your strongest effort, and your greatest potential. And the only way that happens is if you take full control. Not someday. Today. Chapter 2. Build strong habits that shape your best self. Habits are the invisible force shaping every part of your life. They determine how you think, how you feel, how you respond, and ultimately who you become. If you want to build a better life, you have to build better habits. It's not about luck or motivation. It's not about waking up one day with a new personality. It's about what you do daily. It's about the systems you follow, the routines you build, and the small choices you repeat without even thinking. Those are the things that shape your character, your confidence, and your success. Building strong habits doesn't start with doing everything right. It starts with getting clear on who you want to be. Before you change your actions, you have to define your standards. Ask yourself who your best self is. Not the person others expect you to be, but the version of yourself you know you're capable of becoming. That version of you doesn't come from wishful thinking. It comes from doing the right things consistently, even when it's not easy. You don't need to wait for motivation to start building habits. Motivation is unreliable. It fades quickly. What you need is a commitment to your growth. Decide that you're done living below your potential. Decide that it's time to act like the person you want to become. If that person is focused, then build focus into your day. If that person is strong, then show up and train your body and mind. If that person is disciplined, then prove it by doing what matters even when you don't feel like it. Every action you take is a vote for the kind of person you're becoming. Start small. One of the biggest mistakes people make when trying to build habits is doing too much too fast. They want to change everything overnight. But strong habits are not built in a day. They're built through repetition, through showing up again and again, even in small ways. You don't need to work out for 2 hours. You need to move your body every day. You don't need to read 10 books in a week. You need to read 1 page today. Small steps done consistently lead to massive growth over time. Track your habit. What gets tracked gets improved. You might think you're doing something often, but until you see it on paper, it's easy to lie to yourself. Write down the habits you want to build. Mark each day you follow through. Not for perfection, but for progress. When you miss a day, don't quit. Miss one, never two. Get back on track the next day. Building strong habits is not about being flawless, it's about being faithful to the process. Over time, you'll build a streak, and that streak becomes your standard. Protect your habits with your environment. Your surroundings either make habits easier or harder to follow. If your phone is the first thing you reach for in the morning, it's probably because it's within arm's reach. If you keep junk food in your kitchen, you're more likely to eat it. If you're surrounded by people who waste time, you'll likely fall into the same trap. Set your environment up to support your goals. Keep your workout clothes ready. Place books where you'll see them. Use apps that help you track your goal. Make your good habits convenient, and your bad habits inconvenient. Be patient with the process. Habits take time. At first, the results might be invisible. You'll go to the gym and not see much change. You'll meditate for a week and still feel stressed. You'll write every morning and not feel like a writer. That's okay. Growth happens slowly, then suddenly. You're not just building habits, you're becoming someone new. And becoming someone new takes time. But every day you show up, you are laying a brick. One brick doesn't make a house, but keep going, and soon you've built a strong foundation. Stay honest about your habits. Don't lie to yourself when you fall off. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't make excuses. But also, don't beat yourself up. Self-discipline and self-compassion must work together. Be firm with your standards, but kind with your setbacks. If you miss a day, take full responsibility and recommit. The most successful people are not the ones who never fall, they're the ones who get back up faster, wiser, and more focused. Design your day around your strongest habit. Your time is limited. You don't rise by filling your day with noise, you rise by filling it with what matters. Set blocks of time for deep work, schedule breaks to recharge, build moments of silence to think clearly. Habits don't happen when you feel like it. They happen when you've built them into your day. If it's not scheduled, it's just a wish. Strong habits live on your calendar. Use habit cues. These are triggers that remind you to act. You can pair a new habit with an existing one. For example, after you brush your teeth, do 10 push-ups. After you pour your morning coffee, read 1 page. After your workday ends, go for a walk. This method creates momentum. It attaches new behavior to something you already do. Over time, the cue becomes automatic, and the habit follows. Reward yourself the right way. Most people sabotage their progress by rewarding good habits with bad ones. They work hard, then overeat. They stay focused, then binge on distractions. Real rewards are progress, not escape. Reward yourself with rest, not escape. Reward yourself with rest, not laziness. With reflection, not avoidance. With growth, not guilt. Make your rewards support your identity. When you finish a week of discipline, reward yourself with something that reinforces who you're becoming. Don't chase perfect habits. Build habits that fit your life. Everyone has different energy levels, different schedules, and different needs. What works for one person may not work for another. The goal isn't to copy someone else, it's to design a system that works for you. If mornings are your strongest time, put your hardest habit there. If evenings are quiet, build reflection into your night. Adapt your habits to your life, but never lower your standards. Surround yourself with people who live by strong habits. You become like the people you spend time with. If you're around people who build, grow, and show up daily, their energy will influence you. You'll want to level up. But if you're around people who complain, slack off, and chase comfort, it's hard to rise. Choose your circle wisely. Find people who challenge you to be your best. Spend time with those who live by example, not just talk about improvement. Stack your habits for long-term momentum. Once one habit becomes automatic, add another. Keep stacking. Over time, you build a system that runs on its own. You wake up early, train your body, feed your mind, and focus your energy without thinking about it. That's the power of habits. They free up mental space. They create rhythm. They build identity. They remove friction from your day. Build habits that align with your purpose. Don't just build habits for the sake of discipline. Tie them to something meaningful. If your purpose is to serve others, then build habits that strengthen your body, sharpen your mind, and keep your emotions steady. If your purpose is to create, then build habits that keep you focused, inspired, and productive. Purpose-driven habits create deeper fulfillment. They're not just routines. They are rituals of meaning. Building strong habits isn't about living like a machine. It's about designing a life that supports your best self. You still rest. You still enjoy life. But everything you do has direction. Everything builds you. Strong habits are not restrictions. They are anchors. They hold you steady when life gets chaotic. They keep you moving when your mind wants to quit. They remind you that you are in control. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You rise to the level of your habits. Every habit you build is an investment in your future self. Every time you show up, you're casting a vote for the life you want. And over time, those votes become identity. They become your truth. They become your reality. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be fast. You just need to be consistent. One small habit at a time. One powerful choice after another. That's how you shape your best self. Not someday, but today. Because your habits are building something. Make sure they're building something you're proud of. Chapter 3. Face every fear with courage and clear focus. Fear is something every human experiences. It doesn't matter how confident you are or how successful you become. Fear will show up, but it's what you do when it shows up that defines the direction of your life. Most people run from fear. They avoid the uncomfortable situations. They talk themselves out of action. They stay small not because they're weak, but because fear convinces them to play it safe. And over time, the habit of avoiding fear becomes the habit of avoiding growth. The only way to stop fear from controlling you is to face it head-on with full awareness and unwavering focus. That is how you take your power back. You don't get braver by waiting for fear to disappear. You get braver by moving forward while fear is still present. Courage doesn't mean you feel no fear. Courage means you act in spite of it. It means you don't give fear the final say. You don't give it the steering wheel. You step into it. You acknowledge that it's there, but you choose action anyway. The more you do that, the more control you regain over your mind. And the more control you have, the freer you become. Start by identifying exactly what you fear. Don't just say you're afraid. Say what you're afraid of. Be specific. Is it rejection? Is it failure? Is it uncertainty? Is it being judged or misunderstood? Is it disappointing someone? The more clearly you name it, the more power you have to face it. Fear grows in the dark, but when you bring it into the light, it loses strength. Naming your fear is the first step toward weakening it. Once you name it, you have to understand it. Ask yourself where it's coming from. Did someone in your past instill that fear in you? Did a past failure make you doubt yourself? Did you absorb it from people who never chased their dreams? So many fears we carry aren't even ours. They're passed down, they're taught, they're projected onto us. But if they were learned, they can be unlearned. Fear is often a story we tell ourselves over and over, until we start to believe it. But the story can be rewritten. Fear thrives in anticipation. Most of the time, what we imagine will happen is far worse than what actually happens. We let our mind run wild with what-ifs. We build up the fear in our head until it becomes paralyzing. The way to silence that chaos is to take one step forward, not a leap, just a step. Action kills fear faster than overthinking ever could. When you take action, you realize you're not as fragile as you thought. You discover that you can handle far more than your fear led you to believe. Courage grows through practice. The more often you face the things that make you uncomfortable, the less power they hold. Start small if you have to. Speak your truth in a room full of silence. Stand up for yourself even if your voice shakes. Ask the hard question. Say no when it's easier to say yes. Walk into the unknown without a guarantee. Every act of courage strengthens your mental muscles, and the stronger those muscles become, the more fearless your life becomes. When fear comes, slow down your mind. Take a deep breath. Focus on the moment in front of you, not the past that went wrong, or the future that hasn't happened yet. Just this one moment. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer of them. And when you observe fear without reacting to it, you separate yourself from it. That's where clarity is born. From stillness, from awareness, from choosing not to panic when your mind wants to. Focus is your weapon against fear. When you focus fully on what matters, fear loses its grip. Focus brings you into the present. It grounds you. It reminds you of your values. When you are clear on your purpose, fear cannot distract you. When you are committed to a mission bigger than your comfort, fear cannot hold you. Your mind only has room for what you give attention to, so give it to your goals, to your values, to your path forward. Discipline your thoughts. Don't let them spiral. When a fearful thought enters your mind, challenge it. Ask yourself, is this fear helping me grow or keeping me stuck? If it's keeping you stuck, choose to think a different thought. Replace it with something real, something grounded, something that brings you back to your strength. Fear is often just a signal, not a stop sign. It's telling you there's something valuable on the other side. Don't run from that signal. Respond to it with clarity. You don't need to conquer every fear at once, but you do need to stop running from it. Avoidance gives fear more power. Repetition takes that power away. The more you face the hard things, the easier they become. You adapt. You grow. You get faster, sharper, tougher. You start to trust yourself more, and with that trust comes freedom. You're no longer at the mercy of anxiety or doubt. You become steady, even when things are uncertain. Remind yourself often that fear is not truth. Just because you feel fear doesn't mean you're in danger. Just because your heart races or your palms sweat doesn't mean something's wrong. Those are just signals. They can't hurt you unless you obey them. What hurts is giving up on what you want because you were scared to try. What hurts is watching your life pass by because fear whispered not yet. You owe it to yourself to not let that happen. Talk to yourself with strength. Be your own leader. When your mind tries to convince you that you can't, respond with power. Say, this fear doesn't define me. I'm more than this feeling. I've done hard things before and I'll do them again. Words matter. What you say to yourself shapes how you feel, and how you feel shapes what you do. So speak words that push you forward. Speak like someone who refuses to shrink. Your relationship with fear changes when you see it as a test. Fear is not your enemy. It's a gatekeeper. It's there to make sure you're serious. It wants to know if you're willing to earn your growth, if you're willing to push through the noise. And once you prove that you are, fear steps aside. It doesn't disappear completely, but it no longer controls the room. You walk beside it, not behind it. Remember your past victories. Think of times when you felt fear and still moved. Remind yourself how it turned out, how much stronger you became, how proud you were. Those moments are proof that fear isn't final, proof that you are capable. Use that proof to keep going. Stack those moments until they become your evidence. That's how confidence is built, from actions repeated, not feelings waited for. Not everyone will understand your courage. That's okay. This journey is personal. Some will try to discourage you because your boldness reminds them of their hesitation. Don't take it personally. Stay on your path. You're not here to fit into other people's comfort zones. You're here to grow into your full power, and that requires doing things that most people avoid. Courage is a decision, a daily one. You don't wake up fearless. You wake up and choose strength over safety, purpose over panic, growth over comfort. That's the path. Step by step, day by day, again and again. And every step builds momentum. Every decision builds identity. Until one day, fear knocks. And you don't flinch. You stand tall. You stay clear. You keep moving. Because you know who you are now. You're no longer a prisoner of fear. You're a builder of strength. You're a leader of your own mind. You're someone who faces life with your eyes wide open and your spirit fully alive. Chapter 4. Speak truth to yourself and stop making excuses. If you want to change your life in any real way, the first thing you must do is speak the full truth to yourself. Not a version that makes you feel comfortable, not a version that lets you off the hook, but the real truth, the kind that stings a little and wakes you up, the kind that forces you to look at where you really are instead of where you pretend to be. There is no growth without honesty. There is no real change without the courage to admit what you've been avoiding. You can't move forward carrying lies about yourself. You can't improve if you keep hiding from what needs to be fixed. Every day you lie to yourself is a day wasted. Every excuse you make is a wall between where you are and where you want to be. Excuses feel safe. They protect your ego. They let you believe that something outside of you is responsible for your situation. But every time you make an excuse, you give away your power. You say, "I'm not in control." And the more you say that, the more you believe it. Soon you're no longer trying, just defending. You're no longer building, just blaming. And nothing gets better like that. The truth is simple. You are responsible for your life. Your results are your own. Your habits are your choice. Your thoughts are your responsibility. Maybe some things happened that weren't your fault. Maybe life hit you hard, but what you do next is on you. You don't control everything, but you do control your attitude, your actions, your discipline. That's where your power lives. And the moment you stop making excuses is the moment you take that power back. The truth doesn't need to be complicated. It just needs to be honest. If you're lazy, say it. If you've been inconsistent, admit it. If you keep quitting, own it. This doesn't mean shaming yourself. This means facing reality. Because once you face it, you can fix it. You can't fix what you won't face. You can't grow from what you pretend isn't there. Truth is the foundation for transformation, and without it, you stay stuck. Stop telling yourself you don't have time when you spend hours on distraction. Stop saying you're waiting for motivation when what you really need is commitment. Stop blaming your circumstances when you've made no effort to change them. Speak clearly, speak directly. Be brutally honest about what you want and what you're actually doing about it. Nothing changes until you do, and change begins with truth. The reason many people don't improve is not because they can't, it's because they're not willing to admit the gap between their actions and their goals. They say they want to be disciplined, but keep choosing comfort. They say they want success, but avoid the work. They say they want change, but keep doing the same things. You can't lie to yourself and grow at the same time. One has to go, and if you want to get better, it's the lies that need to go first. Speaking the truth to yourself is a daily practice. It's not something you do once and forget. It's something you commit to every single day. When you wake up, ask yourself, am I doing what I said I would do? At night, ask yourself, did I live today with integrity? Not perfection, integrity. Did you show up when it mattered? Did you follow through even when it was hard? Did you keep your promises to yourself? This is where self-respect is built. Not in the results, but in the honesty. The more you practice truth, the stronger you become. You start to catch yourself in real time. You hear the excuses before they come out of your mouth. You recognize when you're trying to justify a poor decision, and instead of going along with it, you stop. You choose better. Not because it's easy, but because you've decided to stop lying to yourself. That decision changes everything. It changes how you move, how you think, how you live. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be honest. And from that honesty, you can make real changes. If your mornings are unproductive, change your evening routine. If you keep procrastinating, set tighter deadlines. If you're not getting results, adjust your action. There is always something you can do, but you can't do it if you keep hiding behind stories. You have to stop saying, I'll start tomorrow, and realize the only time you have is now. Excuses sound convincing in your head. That's why you keep using them. But when you say them out loud, you start to hear how weak they are. I didn't feel like it. I was tired. I didn't know how. These are not reasons. These are choices. And the sooner you own them, the sooner you can change them. You don't have to judge yourself, but you do have to hold yourself accountable. Accountability is what turns pain into progress. People who get better are not the ones with perfect plans. They're the ones with honest hearts. They don't waste time pretending. They tell themselves the truth, even when it's uncomfortable, especially when it's uncomfortable. That's where real self-respect begins. In truth, in facing your weaknesses without shame, in facing your laziness without denial, in facing your excuses without justification. That's where growth starts. If you've been lying to yourself, stop now. If you've been blaming others, take responsibility. If you've been waiting for the right time, understand this. The right time is a myth. The truth is, there is no perfect moment. There is only now. And if you don't act now, you are choosing delay. You are choosing regret. You are choosing to keep living in the same cycle. That's not fate, that's a decision. And you can make a different one right now. Speak the truth, even when it hurts. Especially when it hurts. Say the words you've been avoiding. I've been lazy. I've been scared. I've been wasting time. Say them. Not to feel bad, but to wake up. Say them to shake yourself out of denial. Because on the other side of truth is clarity. And on the other side of clarity is action. And with action comes change. Excuses steal your future. Every time you say, I'll do it later, you're pushing your potential further away. Every time you say, it's not my fault, you're giving away your power. And one day you wake up and realize you've built a life out of delays, justifications, and half-truths. That doesn't have to be your story. You can start telling a new one today. One where you face yourself fully, and move forward anyway. You don't need anyone else's permission to be honest with yourself. You don't need a perfect plan to start improving. All you need is the courage to face what's real. And once you do, you become unstoppable. Because a person who is honest with themselves cannot be manipulated. They cannot be derailed. They know where they stand. They know where they're going. And they're willing to do what it takes to get there. This is your moment to get clear. To stop hiding. To stop sugarcoating. To stop blaming. To stand in front of the mirror and say, this is where I am. This is what I've done. And this is what I will do now. That kind of truth burns away the lies. It wipes the slate clean. It gives you the power to build again, stronger, sharper, better. Your future depends on your honesty. Your growth depends on your willingness to stop making excuses. And your peace depends on your commitment to living with integrity. Choose truth. Choose responsibility. Choose the path that leads to real progress. No more hiding. No more delays. Speak the truth to yourself and begin again today. Chapter 5. Create a daily plan and follow it relentlessly. Nothing changes until you build structure into your life. Wishing for progress without a plan is like running in circles and hoping it leads somewhere new. To make any real progress, you need to design your day with intention. A daily plan is not a luxury, it is a necessity. It's not about being rigid or robotic, it's about deciding how you're going to use your time before the world decides for you. Without a plan, distractions will win. Without direction, you will drift. Without commitment, your days will be filled with activity, but empty of achievement. Start by knowing what matters most. If you don't define your priorities, you will chase everything and achieve nothing. Too many people spend their days reacting to whatever shows up, instead of choosing what they need to focus on. You must take a few minutes each morning, or the night before, and write down exactly what you want to accomplish. Not someday, not this month, just today, because today is the only thing you can control. You're not building a whole life in one moment, but you are building momentum in this moment. A daily plan is not a list of wishes, it's a contract with yourself. It's your personal promise that you will not waste this day. You're not just writing tasks, you're deciding who you're becoming. Each task should reflect what matters. Each block of time should match your goals. Start with the non-negotiables. These are the things that must happen no matter how you feel. That could be your workout, your deep work session, your reading time, or your nightly reflection. Once those are in place, everything else gets scheduled around them. The key to following a daily plan is simplicity. If your plan is too complex, you won't stick to it. If it's too vague, it won't guide you. Keep it clear. Keep it sharp. Assign times to each task. Break your work into focused blocks. Add buffers for transition. Be realistic, not idealistic. Don't overload the schedule just to feel productive. Your goal is not to do more. Your goal is to do what matters, consistently and completely. You will be tempted to drift from your plan. That's normal. But that's also the moment that defines whether you grow or stay the same. When it gets uncomfortable, stick to the plan. When it gets boring, stick to the plan. When distractions pull at you, stick to the plan. This isn't about emotion, it's about execution. You're training yourself to do what needs to be done, whether or not you feel like it. That's where true discipline is built. Every single time you follow your plan instead of your mood, you strengthen your self-control. You become someone who can be trusted with goals, with time, with progress. You prove to yourself that you mean what you say. This kind of consistency creates internal confidence, not because everything is perfect, but because you're not quitting. You're not floating. You're not lost. You are focused, and that kind of focus changes everything. You must also review your day. At the end of every evening, sit down and ask yourself, did I follow through? Did I waste time? Did I drift? Be honest. Not to feel bad, but to learn. Adjust your plan for tomorrow based on what worked and what didn't. This is not about shame. It's about refinement. You're shaping your discipline like a craftsman sharpens a blade, daily, patiently, with care and precision. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be aware. Every honest review makes your next day sharper. There's power in repetition. When you repeat your daily plan over and over, your habits become automatic. You no longer ask if you should do it, you just do it. You don't debate whether you should get started, you've already decided. This frees your mind. It gives you room to focus on deeper work. You're not using energy to battle distractions because your day is already locked in. This is how elite performance is built, not with bursts of effort, but with unwavering consistency. There will be days when things don't go as planned. Life will interrupt, emergencies will arise. But that doesn't mean you abandon the process. You adjust and return. You flex, but you don't fold. Having a plan doesn't mean life will be perfect. It means you will be prepared. It gives you something solid to return to when things go sideways. It anchors you in purpose even when the storm hits. The more you rely on structure, the less you rely on motivation. You no longer have to wait for inspiration because your plan is already in place. You wake up and go to work. You know what to do and when to do it. That's how professionals operate. They don't wake up wondering how they feel. They wake up knowing what they must do, and they do it. There is freedom in discipline. When your day is planned, you are not trapped. You are free from indecision, procrastination, and regret. You've chosen your path instead of wandering. You've built your day around your future instead of your feelings. This is not about being busy. This is about being intentional. You are trading chaos for clarity. You are building a foundation for growth. People talk about changing their life, but the truth is, you don't change your life in a year. You change it one day at a time. One plan followed, one distraction ignored, 1 hour focused. Over time, that adds up. You don't need to do it all today. You just need to do what you planned. One solid day becomes one solid week, then one solid month. Then momentum becomes your new normal. You have more control than you think. No one decides how you spend your day, except you. No one can force you to drift. That's a choice. And just like you can choose distraction, you can choose discipline. Just like you can waste your day, you can win your day. It's not a mystery. It's not luck. It's your plan followed with relentless commitment. This doesn't mean life will be easy, but it means you will be ready. It means your time will serve your growth instead of your urges. It means your actions will match your goals, and when that happens, everything starts to shift. You no longer feel lost. You no longer wonder if you're doing enough, because your plan speaks clearly. This is what matters, and this is what you do. The most powerful people in the world don't leave their days to chance. They map them out with purpose. They don't hope they'll get things done. They make sure of it. They don't let the day slip away. They take it and use it. That's the mindset you must develop. That's the discipline you must build. Because if you don't take charge of your day will take charge of you. And the truth is, your time is not coming back. Every wasted hour is gone forever. Every delay is a lost opportunity. That's not meant to scare you. That's meant to wake you up. This is your life. This is your moment. You can either drift through it, or you can shape it. You can either keep waiting, or you can plan and act. Every day is a blank page. You can fill it with excuses, or you can fill it with progress. So start now, not tomorrow, not when you feel ready. Now, write your plan, lock in your priorities, remove the noise, protect your time, respect your decisions, follow through, not once, not sometimes, but relentlessly. That's how you move from potential to progress. That's how you become someone who doesn't just dream, but builds. That's how you take back control and move forward, one powerful day at a time. Chapter 6. Push through pain and grow stronger each time. Pain is not the enemy, it is the teacher. Every challenge that brings discomfort holds the opportunity to strengthen your mind, body, and spirit. Growth does not happen in comfort zones, but in the moments you push through resistance. When pain arrives, most people retreat or avoid it. But real strength is forged by moving forward, regardless of how difficult it feels. To grow stronger with every challenge, you must welcome pain as part of your journey, not a signal to stop. The first step to pushing through pain is recognizing its purpose. Pain signals that you are breaking old patterns, that you are stretching beyond familiar limits. It is a sign that transformation is happening. Instead of fearing or fighting it, acknowledge that discomfort is a natural companion of progress. When muscles tear during exercise, they repair themselves to become stronger. The same principle applies to mental and emotional pain. It disrupts your old self to make space for a stronger you. Resisting pain only makes it louder and more overwhelming. Instead, meet it with calm focus. Accept the difficulty without allowing fear or frustration to control your actions. This doesn't mean ignoring your limits or risking harm, but rather holding steady when things get tough. Breath control, mindful awareness, and a clear focus on your goals will help you stay grounded in those moments. The mind often wants to escape pain, but discipline is about staying present and choosing to endure. Pain will come in many forms: physical strain, emotional setbacks, criticism, failure, rejection. Each one offers a lesson and a chance to grow. When you encounter pain, shift your perspective from victim to warrior. Ask yourself, what can this teach me? How can I use this experience to improve? Pain becomes fuel when you channel it into motivation rather than despair. This mindset turns obstacles into stepping stones. A crucial part of growing stronger is developing resilience through consistent effort. Each time you face a challenge and refuse to give up, you train your mind to withstand greater difficulties. Resilience is not an innate trait, but a muscle you build through practice. The more you expose yourself to manageable discomfort, the more your tolerance increases. Over time, situations that once felt unbearable will become opportunities to demonstrate your strength. Prepare for pain mentally before it arrives. Visualize the challenges you expect to face and how you will respond calmly and determinedly. This mental rehearsal builds confidence and reduces the shock when real pain appears. It reminds you that discomfort is temporary and that you are capable of overcoming it. When you anticipate obstacles, you reduce their power to derail your progress. In moments of pain, focus on your purpose. Recall why you started and what you are working towards. Purpose acts like a compass, guiding you through hardship. When your motivation aligns with a deep reason, pain loses much of its sting. This is why people can endure extreme challenges when they believe in a cause greater than the pain itself. Link your actions to meaning and your endurance will soar. Taking care of your body plays a vital role in how you handle pain. Proper rest, nutrition and hydration are not signs of weakness, but tools for strength. A body in good condition recovers faster and withstands more pressure. When pushing through physical or mental pain, don't neglect your health. Strength grows when you balance effort with care. Growth happens incrementally. Don't expect to become stronger overnight. Each time you push through a difficult moment, you add a small layer of toughness. This slow build-up is often invisible but extremely powerful. Keep showing up even when it feels hard. Trust that every act of perseverance adds to your strength bank, even if results are not immediate. Seek support when necessary, but don't rely on it to carry you through pain. Asking for help is a sign of wisdom, not weakness. Yet, the core of pushing through pain depends on your own commitment. Use encouragement from others as fuel, but be the one who faces your struggles head-on. This self-reliance is what builds true inner strength. Celebrate small victories along the way. Each time you overcome discomfort or persist through pain, acknowledge your progress. This reinforces positive behavior and keeps your motivation alive. Tracking your growth reminds you that pain is temporary, but the strength you gain is lasting. The more you recognize your courage, the easier it becomes to face future challenges. Remember that pain will not last forever. Difficult moments pass. When you focus on the temporary nature of pain, you create hope and patience. This perspective prevents discouragement. Tough days become less intimidating when you know they are only a part of the journey, not the final destination. Avoid making pain personal. Pain is not a reflection of your worth or ability. It is simply part of the process of becoming better. When you stop identifying with pain, you free yourself from unnecessary suffering. You become an observer of your experience rather than a victim. This detachment strengthens your emotional resilience. Build rituals that prepare you to face pain. Consistent exercise, meditation, journaling, or reflection create habits that support endurance. When your mind and body are trained regularly to handle stress, pain in difficult moments becomes more manageable. Rituals provide structure and a sense of control which reduces anxiety about hardship. Use setbacks as feedback rather than failure. When pain accompanies failure, analyze what happened and what you can improve. This shifts your focus from blame to learning. Growth is rooted in reflection and adjustment. The strongest people use failure as a springboard for future success. Focus on what you can control. Pain often comes with feelings of helplessness. Redirect your energy towards actions you can take, no matter how small. This might be breathing deeply, taking a short walk, or adjusting your mindset. Controlling your response to pain is where your true power lies. Avoid comparison when facing pain. Your challenges are unique to your journey. Comparing your struggles to others can create unnecessary pressure or discouragement. Concentrate on your own growth and progress. This focus keeps your mind centered and less vulnerable to doubt. Be patient with yourself. Growth through pain is a process that cannot be rushed. Impatience often leads to giving up or sabotaging progress. Give yourself permission to take the time needed to build strength. Consistency over time beats intensity in the long run. Recognize that pain is a universal experience. Everyone faces difficulties. You are not alone in struggle. This shared reality creates connection and humility. Knowing others have faced pain and grown stronger can inspire you to do the same. Keep a journal of your challenges and how you respond to pain. Writing helps clarify emotions and track progress. It creates distance from immediate discomfort and allows insight. Reviewing your journal can reveal patterns and growth that are easy to overlook. Incorporate rest and recovery into your process. Strength is not just about pushing forward, but also about pausing. Rest allows your body and mind to heal and build resilience. Balance effort with renewal to sustain growth. Train your mind to welcome discomfort rather than avoid it. This mindset transforms pain from enemy to ally. When you see discomfort as an essential step towards becoming better, you stop fearing it and start using it. Use affirmations or mantras that reinforce your ability to endure and improve. Positive self-talk can redirect your thoughts away from pain and towards strength. Repeating empowering statements strengthens your belief in yourself. Finally, never lose sight of the bigger picture. Pain is part of your story, not the whole story. Each time you push through pain, you add a chapter of courage and growth. This cumulative effort shapes you into someone who does not quit, but rises stronger every time. Your journey is not defined by the pain you face, but by how you respond to it. This is the essence of true strength and lasting transformation. Chapter 7. Cut off people who drain your strength daily. People around us influence our energy, mindset, and progress more than we often realize. The individuals who surround you can either fuel your growth or drain your strength. When someone consistently saps your energy, leaves you feeling exhausted or doubtful, they are holding you back from becoming your best self. Cutting off those who drain your strength is not about hostility or blame. It's about protecting your well-being and creating space for positive influence. This is a vital step for anyone committed to daily improvement. Recognizing energy drainers requires honest observation. Notice how you feel after interacting with certain people. If you consistently feel depleted, stressed, or less confident, that relationship needs re-evaluation. These individuals may not always be overtly negative. Sometimes their attitudes, behaviors, or demands subtly wear you down over time. The first action is awareness. Without this, you cannot protect yourself. Boundaries are your strongest defense. Setting clear limits on how much time, attention, and emotional energy you give to draining people is necessary. Boundaries are not about cutting others off abruptly without reason, but about choosing when and how you engage. You have full control over who you let into your mental and emotional space. Defining these boundaries is an act of self-respect and discipline. Detaching emotionally from those who drain you helps maintain your strength. You don't need to carry the burden of their problems or negative energy. You can listen without absorbing their emotions or feeling responsible for their mindset. This detachment is a skill that builds over time through practice. When you stay centered, you protect your peace and focus. Limiting contact with toxic influences improves your focus and motivation. Energy drainers can cause distractions, doubts, or emotional turmoil that distract from your goals. Reducing time spent with these individuals means more energy to dedicate to your growth. This choice is not selfish, it is necessary to maintain the momentum toward your best self. Sometimes cutting off means completely ending a relationship. This is difficult, but sometimes required when boundaries and detachment fail. Ending toxic relationships frees you from ongoing negativity that stifles progress. It creates room for healthier connections that uplift and inspire. This process may be painful, but ultimately liberating. Surround yourself with people who inspire strength and positivity. Seek relationships with those who challenge you to improve, who celebrate your wins, and who support your growth without judgment. Positive social support is a powerful catalyst for change. The company you keep influences your habits, mindset, and resilience. Self-awareness is crucial in recognizing when you contribute to draining dynamics. Reflect on your interactions and patterns. Sometimes you might enable energy drainers or tolerate their behavior longer than necessary. Taking responsibility for your role empowers you to change these patterns. Growth requires honesty with yourself as much as with others. Communicating your needs clearly helps maintain healthy relationships. When you feel drained, express your limits calmly and assertively. Honest communication can shift dynamics and sometimes repair relationships that were draining. Not everyone will respond positively, but your clarity is essential regardless. Standing up for yourself strengthens your inner power. Energy management is a daily practice. You will encounter people who test your boundaries or challenge your resolve regularly. Each time you protect your energy, you reinforce your commitment to growth. This practice is not a one-time event, but an ongoing discipline that requires vigilance and courage. Recognize the difference between empathy and enabling. Caring for others does not mean sacrificing your strength. Being supportive is valuable, but not at the cost of your own well-being. Learn to say no and prioritize your health without guilt. This balance is critical to sustainable growth. Cutting off energy drainers is an act of courage. It means choosing your future over past comfort or obligation. This decision often triggers resistance, doubt, or guilt. Overcoming these feelings requires understanding that your primary responsibility is to yourself. Your growth benefits not only you, but those who genuinely care about you. Focus on cultivating positive habits that enhance your resilience to negativity. Regular reflection, meditation, or journaling can help you process emotions and reinforce your boundaries. These practices sharpen your ability to discern which relationships serve your purpose and which do not. Emotional clarity aids in making difficult decisions regarding people. Trust your intuition when assessing relationships. Often your gut feeling signals when something is harmful. Don't dismiss these feelings or rationalize toxic behavior. Your instincts are a valuable guide for maintaining emotional health. Act on these signals promptly to avoid unnecessary suffering. Create physical and mental distance when needed. Sometimes, simply reducing face-to-face meetings, phone calls, or messages with draining people can create distance. Allows you to recharge and gain perspective. It also signals to others the limits you have set for your well-being. Understand that change is not always accepted by those you cut off. Energy drainers may resist or react negatively when you set boundaries or reduce contact. Their response does not reflect your value or decisions. Stay firm and consistent in your choice. Over time, this clarity reduces their power over you. Forgive yourself for past tolerance of draining relationships. Holding on to regret or self-blame wastes energy and clouds your judgment. Growth involves learning from past mistakes and moving forward with renewed strength. Self-compassion opens the door to healing and change. Invest in relationships that enrich your life. Seek mentors, friends, or communities aligned with your values and goals. These connections provide encouragement, accountability, and inspiration. Positive social environments accelerate growth and help maintain motivation. Monitor your internal dialogue about relationships. Negative thoughts about yourself when dealing with energy drainers weaken your resolve. Replace self-criticism with affirmations of your worth and commitment to growth. Your mindset shapes how you handle difficult people and situations. Keep in mind that cutting off people who drain your strength is not an act of cruelty. It is an act of preservation. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Protecting your energy ensures you have the strength to pursue your goals and live fully. Commit to revisiting your social circles regularly. People change, and so do their impacts on your life. Periodic reflection helps maintain a supportive environment. This ongoing evaluation prevents stagnation and keeps you moving forward. Know that you are worthy of relationships that nourish your growth. Never settle for less than respect and support. Your commitment to growth deserves a community that celebrates and uplifts you every day. Practice gratitude for those who build you up. Acknowledge their role in your journey. This gratitude strengthens bonds and encourages a positive social network. Appreciation also shifts your focus away from negativity. Embrace solitude when needed. Being alone is an opportunity to reconnect with yourself and build inner strength. Solitude can be refreshing and empowering, especially after distancing from draining people. Use this time to reflect and recharge. Recognize that cutting off energy drainers can lead to unexpected freedom. It opens space for new experiences, ideas, and connections that align with your purpose. This liberation fuels your progress and confidence. Take responsibility for the energy you bring to relationships. Your own attitude and behavior influence the dynamics you experience. Cultivating positivity and clarity attracts similar energies. This self-awareness helps minimize draining interactions. Remain patient with yourself during this process. Changing relationships is challenging and may involve discomfort. Progress is gradual but steady when you persist. Celebrate every step you take toward a healthier social environment. Ultimately, cutting off people who drain your strength daily is a necessary act of self-care and discipline. It is a choice to protect your mental and emotional health, preserve your motivation, and create an environment that supports your best self. This commitment to guarding your energy is foundational to daily improvement and lasting transformation. Chapter 8. Practice discipline, even when you feel no drive. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment, but what happens when motivation fades? When the fire inside dims and the initial excitement wanes, many falter. The truth is, discipline is not dependent on feelings. It exists beyond desire and mood. Practicing discipline even when the drive disappears is the hallmark of true commitment and the secret to consistent progress. Feelings are fleeting. Some days you wake up energized and ready to conquer. Other days, exhaustion or doubt creeps in, making every step feel heavier. Relying solely on motivation is like building a house on sand. To succeed, you need a foundation that does not shift with the winds of emotion. Discipline provides that unshakable base. Understanding this difference is essential. Motivation sparks action, but discipline sustains it. When drive is high, momentum builds easily. Yet, the real test is continuing when enthusiasm fades. This is when discipline must take over, propelling you forward through habit and commitment rather than feeling. The challenge lies in pushing yourself to start on days when you feel no spark at all. It may seem impossible, but the key is to begin regardless of mood. Often, the act of starting itself creates momentum. Movement generates energy. By taking even the smallest step, you initiate a chain reaction that can root motivation from the ground up. Setting clear, manageable routines helps automate discipline. When actions become habits, they no longer require constant mental effort or emotional willingness. Your brain shifts from debating whether to act to simply following an established pattern. This reduces reliance on fleeting motivation and frees up mental energy for other tasks. Breaking larger goals into smaller, achievable parts increases the likelihood of action. When overwhelmed or uninterested, tackling tiny tasks feels less daunting. Completing these bits still moves you forward and feeds a sense of accomplishment. Over time, these small wins accumulate into significant progress. Accountability is another powerful tool. Sharing your goals with someone who expects you to follow through creates external pressure to stay disciplined. Knowing that others are watching can push you to act even when you lack internal drive. This external support often bridges the gap during low motivation periods. Visual reminders of your goals can also strengthen discipline. Posting affirmations, goals, or progress trackers in visible places keeps your purpose in focus. These cues remind you why you started and why persistence matters. When temptation to quit arises, visual triggers pull you back on track. Self-compassion plays a surprising role in sustaining discipline. When motivation dips, harsh self-criticism can backfire, increasing resistance. Instead, treating yourself with kindness and understanding reduces emotional barriers. Accept that feeling unmotivated is normal and temporary. This attitude lowers pressure and helps you move forward gently. Creating an environment that minimizes distractions enhances discipline. When you remove temptations or disruptions, following through becomes easier. Arrange your workspace, tools, and schedule to support focused action. Structure your surroundings to invite discipline rather than resist it. Discipline is strengthened by mental rehearsal. Imagining yourself completing tasks despite low drive builds confidence and readiness. Visualizing success primes your brain to act. This mental training reduces hesitation and boosts resilience. During difficult moments, pay attention to your energy cycles. Identify times of the day when you naturally feel more alert or focused. Scheduling demanding tasks during these windows conserves discipline reserve. Working smarter with your natural rhythms increases chances of consistent action. Tracking your progress offers motivation beyond feelings. Recording what you accomplish, no matter how small, creates a visual proof of persistence. Reviewing this record during low drive phases reminds you of your capacity to endure. Seeing growth over time reinforces discipline as a habit. Celebrate discipline itself, not just outcomes. Acknowledge when you follow through despite lacking motivation. This recognition shifts focus from results to effort, which you can control more reliably. Honoring the act of discipline builds a positive feedback loop, encouraging more of the same behavior. Anticipate setbacks and plan for them. Knowing that some days will be harder prepares you mentally. Develop strategies in advance, shorter work sessions, simpler tasks, or motivational triggers. Having a plan reduces decision fatigue and excuses, making discipline easier to maintain. Avoid waiting for the right mood or perfect conditions. There will never be a flawless moment. Action taken in imperfect circumstances is more valuable than waiting indefinitely. Accepting imperfection in your efforts fosters persistence and steady progress. Focus on your identity rather than just goal. Discipline becomes easier when you see yourself as the kind of person who shows up, regardless of feelings. This mindset change transforms actions from chores into expressions of who you are becoming. Resist the trap of rationalizing breaks as rewards for low motivation. While rest is important, too much waiting for motivation to return can become procrastination. Balance rest with intentional action. Discipline includes knowing when to push and when to pause wisely. Lean on your why, the deeper reasons behind your goal. When surface-level drive fades, reconnecting with your core purpose reignites commitment. Reflect regularly on why your efforts matter and whom they serve. This grounding strengthens discipline when enthusiasm wanes. Practice gratitude for your ability to act despite challenges. Gratitude shifts perspective from scarcity of willpower to abundance of opportunity. Appreciating each chance to practice discipline builds optimism and resilience. Learn from days when discipline falters without harsh judgment. Instead, analyze what caused the slip and how to adjust. This growth mindset turns setbacks into learning experiences rather than failures. Refining your approach over time enhances your capacity for disciplined action. Developing discipline even without drive requires patience. It's a gradual process of rewiring habits and mindsets. Be consistent, forgiving, and persistent. Over time, discipline becomes second nature, sustaining progress through any emotional state. Remember, true progress is measured not by how you feel, but by what you do. Discipline is the silent engine that keeps the journey moving forward long after motivation has passed. Cultivating this steady force transforms your potential into real achievement, no matter what your emotions say. Chapter 9. Track your actions and measure your real progress. Tracking your actions is the compass that guides you through the journey of self-improvement. Without clear measurement, progress becomes an illusion, and effort can feel wasted or aimless. Observing what you do daily reveals patterns, strengths, and areas needing adjustment. It grounds your growth in reality instead of hope or vague intention. When you commit to monitoring your actions, you unlock a powerful tool for continuous development and real success. The first step in tracking progress is simple honesty. Record what you actually do, not what you wish you had done or what you believe you should do. This honest snapshot provides the foundation for meaningful reflection. It requires discipline and courage to face your actions without excuse or denial. By consistently documenting efforts, you build a clear picture of your habits and choices over time. Choosing the right method for tracking depends on your preferences and lifestyle. Some find journals or notebooks effective for writing down tasks completed, feelings experienced, and lessons learned. Others use digital tools like apps or spreadsheets for more structured data collection. The key is consistency and ease of use. A method that fits smoothly into your daily routine reduces resistance and increases accuracy. Tracking is not about perfection or judgment, but about awareness. When you focus on counting wins and setbacks, you might lose sight of progress that happens in subtle ways. Instead, pay attention to what actions you took, how often, and with what quality. These details uncover trends that help you understand your real trajectory toward goals. Measurement transforms vague ambitions into tangible realities. Seeing numbers or written evidence of your efforts can motivate you more than abstract hopes. It provides proof that change is happening, even if slow or imperfect. This tangible feedback loop strengthens commitment and refines your approach. As you gather data on your actions, patterns will emerge. You may notice times of day when you perform best, certain tasks consistently avoided, or specific triggers that disrupt your flow. Identifying these patterns empowers you to make informed decisions about adjustments. Tailoring your environment, schedule, and strategies around this knowledge maximizes efficiency and growth. Avoid tracking only outcomes. Focusing solely on results like weight lost or money earned can create frustration when progress stalls or fluctuates. Instead, track the inputs, the behaviors and actions under your control. This shift in focus builds resilience as you learn to trust the process rather than immediate rewards. Review your tracked data regularly. Weekly or daily reviews provide opportunities to celebrate wins, analyze challenges, and set clear intentions for improvement. This practice turns tracking from passive recording into an active management tool. It encourages mindfulness and accountability, key components of lasting change. Sharing your progress with a trusted friend, mentor, or community adds another layer of accountability. Reporting actions to others creates external motivation and support. It can also offer fresh perspectives on your journey, helping you spot blind spots or discover new strategies. Be prepared to adapt your tracking system as needed. What works at one stage may become cumbersome or less relevant later. Flexibility keeps the process aligned with your evolving goals and lifestyle. Experiment with different tools or metrics to find what best captures your true effort. Celebrate small milestones revealed through tracking. Recognizing incremental improvements reinforces positive behavior and builds momentum. These moments provide emotional fuel for persistence when motivation wanes or obstacles arise. Use setbacks identified through tracking as learning opportunities. Instead of discouragement, approach them with curiosity. Ask what caused the slip and how to avoid similar pitfalls. This mindset transforms mistakes into stepping stones rather than barriers. Avoid obsessing over daily fluctuations. Progress is rarely linear. Expect ups and downs and maintain perspective by focusing on long-term trends rather than momentary dips. Patience and persistence are more valuable than perfection. Incorporate qualitative notes alongside quantitative data. Writing reflections on feelings, challenges, or insights enriches your understanding. This holistic view connects action with internal experience, deepening self-awareness. Tracking helps break large goals into manageable tasks by showing which specific actions yield results. It clarifies priorities and reveals ineffective efforts to discard. This clarity sharpens your focus and conserves energy. When motivation falters, reviewing your tracked progress reminds you of past achievements and the capacity to persist. It rekindles confidence and reaffirms your commitment to growth. This historical record is a reservoir of strength during tough times. Tracking creates a feedback loop where observation leads to insight, insight leads to action, and action leads to further observation. This cycle accelerates improvement and cultivates mastery over your habits and choices. Avoid perfectionism in tracking. Missing a day or forgetting details does not derail progress. Return to the practice promptly and keep the bigger picture in mind. Consistency over time outweighs occasional lapses. Use tracking to align daily actions with your deeper values and long-term vision. When you see how small choices accumulate, you become more intentional about what you prioritize. This connection enhances motivation and meaningfulness. Technology can aid tracking, but should not replace self-reflection. Automated reminders and statistics are helpful tools, but must be complemented by thoughtful review and decision-making. Tracking is an act of self-respect. It signals that you value your growth enough to pay attention, learn, and improve. This respect for yourself fuels further discipline and progress. The process of tracking also trains your mind to observe without judgment. Developing this neutral awareness reduces anxiety about performance and fosters clarity. You learn to see your journey as it is, not as you fear or hope it to be. Tracking is a lifelong practice. As you grow, your goals and challenges will shift, and so will what you choose to monitor. Embracing this evolving nature keeps your development dynamic and responsive. Real progress is visible only through consistent measurement. Without tracking, it's easy to fall into illusions or excuses. Tracking cuts through ambiguity, revealing the truth of your effort. Commit to making tracking a daily habit. Even brief entries each day accumulate into a powerful map of your journey. This habit strengthens your commitment and sharpens your focus. The clarity gained from tracking empowers you to take control of your growth. It transforms uncertainty into confidence and intention. This clarity becomes a guiding light on the path to becoming your best self. Tracking your actions is not just about improving productivity, but about mastering yourself. It cultivates discipline, honesty, and wisdom. These qualities build a foundation that supports continuous growth and fulfillment. Ultimately, measuring your real progress through tracking is a profound act of self-leadership. It is choosing awareness over complacency, action over stagnation. This choice propels you forward, step by deliberate step, toward the life you want to create. Chapter 10. Protect your time and focus with full intention. Time is the most valuable resource available because once it passes, it can never be regained. Protecting your time requires conscious intention and a clear understanding of what deserves your focus. Without deliberate effort, distractions and trivial demands will consume your hours, leaving little room for meaningful progress. To guard your time effectively, you must first recognize its true worth and commit to prioritizing actions aligned with your highest goals. Focus is the lens through which time becomes productive. It transforms raw hours into achievements by directing energy toward what matters most. This concentration is not accidental. It is a skill cultivated by setting firm boundaries around your attention. When distractions are minimized, your mental clarity increases, allowing you to operate with greater efficiency and purpose. Protecting focus means protecting the foundation upon which all growth is built. Begin by identifying your priorities clearly. Knowing what tasks and commitments contribute to your long-term vision helps you evaluate where to invest time and energy. This clarity creates a natural filter, making it easier to say no to activities that do not serve your purpose. Each decision to protect your focus becomes a step toward the future you want to build. Learn to say no without guilt. Protecting your time means turning down requests and invitations that do not align with your priorities. This requires confidence and self-respect. Every refusal frees up space to engage fully with what is truly important. Saying no is not selfish, it is necessary for maintaining the integrity of your time. Eliminate distractions relentlessly. Devices, notifications, and noisy environments steal precious moments of attention. Design your surroundings to support deep work by removing or reducing interruptions. Silence phones, close unnecessary tabs, and create a dedicated workspace that signals your commitment to focus. These external changes strengthen your internal discipline. Establish routines that honor your most productive periods. Understanding when your energy peaks during the day allows you to schedule demanding tasks strategically. Guard these windows fiercely, reserving them for work that requires your highest concentration. Consistent routines build momentum and reduce decision fatigue. Use time-blocking techniques to allocate specific periods for tasks and breaks. This structure provides a framework that discourages multitasking and promotes full engagement. When time is segmented intentionally, it becomes easier to enter a flow state and maintain it. Time blocking also creates natural boundaries that prevent work from spilling into personal time. Practice single tasking to enhance the quality of your focus. Shifting attention between multiple tasks dilutes effectiveness and increases stress. By concentrating on one task until completion or a designated stopping point, you honor your brain's capacity for deep work. This method produces better results in less time. Develop rituals to signal the beginning and end of focused work sessions. These cues train your mind to transition smoothly into concentration mode and to rest afterward. Rituals can be as simple as closing your eyes briefly, taking deep breaths, or tidying your desk. Over time, these habits condition your mind for productive focus. Guard your mental energy by setting limits on social media and entertainment consumption. These activities often fragment attention and drain motivation. Allocate specific times for leisure and avoid unplanned scrolling or binge watching. When controlled, breaks refresh your mind. When unchecked, they erode focus and waste time. Create clear goals for each work session. Knowing exactly what you want to achieve sharpens your concentration and reduces aimless effort. Write down your objectives and keep them visible. This clarity anchors your attention and provides motivation to persist through challenges. Respect your body's needs to maintain optimal focus. Adequate sleep, nutrition, hydration, and movement directly impact cognitive performance. Neglecting physical health reduces willpower and increases susceptibility to distraction. Treat your body as an ally in your quest to protect time and sharpen focus. Use technology wisely as a tool, not a master. Turn off non-essential notifications and use apps that block distracting sites during work periods. Employ timers or productivity techniques like the Pomodoro method to structure work and rest. These digital aids help maintain discipline in a world designed for distraction. Learn to manage interruptions with grace and strategy. When unexpected demands arise, assess their urgency and relevance before responding. If possible, defer non-critical requests to dedicated time. Communicate boundaries clearly to colleagues, friends, and family to protect your focus. Reflect regularly on how well you are protecting your time and focus. Honest self-assessment reveals gaps and opportunities for improvement. Adjust strategies as needed to align with changing priorities and challenges. Continuous refinement keeps your system effective and resilient. Understand that protecting your time is an act of self-leadership. It requires discipline, courage, and persistence. This commitment to your own growth and well-being sends a powerful message to yourself and others about what you value. It creates a foundation for all other habits and successes. Recognize that focus is a muscle strengthened through practice. Start with small periods of concentrated work and gradually increase duration. Celebrate progress in maintaining attention and resisting distractions. Over time, your ability to focus deeply becomes natural and robust. Balance protection of time with flexibility. Life is unpredictable, and rigid schedules can create stress. Build buffers and contingency plans to accommodate interruptions without losing momentum. Flexibility combined with intention allows you to adapt without sacrificing your focus. Avoid multitasking even in personal activities. Engage fully with one experience at a time, whether eating, conversing, or relaxing. This practice trains your mind to be present and enhances overall awareness. Presence is the gateway to mindful time protection. Limit commitments by being selective about what you agree to. Prioritize quality over quantity in all areas of life. Reducing overload frees mental space and preserves energy for what matters most. Intentional commitment choices are a cornerstone of time protection. Set boundaries around your day's start and end time. Clear separation between work and rest prevents burnout and preserves focus for future tasks. Establish rituals that mark these transitions and honor them consistently. This structure nurtures long-term discipline. Develop the habit of reviewing your calendar and task list daily. Preparation reduces surprises and helps you allocate focus effectively. Anticipating demands prepares your mind to handle them without losing sight of priorities. Create accountability systems that support your time protection goal. Sharing your intentions with a trusted partner or group increases commitment. Regular check-ins provide motivation and help maintain standards. Practice saying no to internal distractions, such as procrastination and self-doubt. Recognize these mental barriers as enemies of focus and time protection. Counter them with action and positive self-talk to maintain momentum. Celebrate the results of your protected time. Reflect on achievements made possible by focused effort. This positive reinforcement encourages ongoing dedication to your time and attention. Commit to protecting your time as an essential act of self-respect and self-mastery. This choice empowers you to direct your life according to your values and goals. It creates space for growth, happiness, and fulfillment. Your ability to guard your time and focus determines the quality of your life. It transforms potential into reality by enabling consistent progress. This skill, once mastered, becomes a lifelong ally in your journey of becoming the hero of your own story.